करता। ओम नमो हरिहंताणम। सिद्ध प्रभु ना दर्शन करता। ओम नमो सिद्धाणम। आचार्यों ने वंदन करता। ओम नमो आयर्याणम। उपाध्याय ने वंदन करता। ओम नमो उपाध्यायाणम। सर्व साधु ने वंदन करता। नमो लोए सब साहूणम। सम्यक दर्शन मुझने मर्जो। देसो पंचन मुक्तारो। सम्यक ज्ञान मुझने मर्जो। सव्वा पाव पड़ासनो। सम्यक चारित्र मुझने मर्जो। मंगलानं च सर्वेषु। नवपदनी आराधना करता। परमं हवै मंगलम। परमं हवै मंगलम। परमं हवै मंगलम।
Jai Jinendra, and welcome everyone to today's session. Today we're joined by Nithoben and Ilamati, who will be talking to us about heartfulness, cleaning through the lives and stories of the 4th and 6th Tirthankar, Abhinandan Swami and Padmaprabha. Nithoben, I'm going to hand over to you now, and you can carry on.
Thank you so much. Welcome, everyone. I would just ask Ila, please, can you share the slides? Thank you. So, namaste, everyone, and welcome to week 3 of our series on the tenets of Jainism. Today, we'll be speaking about the lives of the 4th and the 6th holy Tirthankars as it has just been introduced. So, just recapping what we have done until now. In week 1, we met Rishabh Dev, the pioneer who taught us balance between material and spiritual life. In week 2, we explored Ajit Nath and Sambhav Nath, embodiments of compassion and nonviolence. And today, our topic is purity and detachment. This is the key principles for inner freedom. The two words, purity and detachment. As we go through the session, we'll go into the in-depth meaning of these two words and see how they eventually lead to inner freedom. Today, we'll learn how these principles can be achieved by looking at the lives of the two Tirthankars, Abhinandan Nath and Padmaprabha Swami. And we'll see how, through heartfulness cleaning practice, we can cultivate the same purity in our everyday lives. As we move on. So, before we move on with the stories of the two Tirthankars who are the highlights of today's session, I would like to take a look at the whole lineage. I would like all of you to take a look at this whole lineage of 24 Tirthankars. They are the luminous guides who have shown us humanity the path of inner purification. Not just the two who we are going to talk about today, but all of them. In this slide that you see in front of you right now, you can see the different principles that each one gave to the world. Each principle embodies a distinct virtue. May it be courage, compassion, purity, truthfulness, forgiveness, peace, simplicity, and ultimately liberation. Each Tirthankar represents a step in the soul's journey from awakening to perfection, from bondage to freedom. Rishabh Dev, also called the Adinath, taught us how to balance material and spiritual life, how to fulfill our worldly duties as well as work towards our inner growth. He represents the beginning of human civilization as far back as you can trace it. Ajit Nath and Sambhavnath embodied compassion and non-violence that we saw in week 2 of our sessions. They showed that victory is not over others, but over our own passion and our own material desires. The Tirthankars we are going to talk about today throw light on the qualities of purity and detachment. Abhinandan Nath and Padmaprabha Swami, the fourth and the sixth Tirthankar. What we need to realize at this point is that all of them have just one inner message, that purity of heart is the foundation of freedom. We can take it from anyone. Rishabh Dev's balance, Ajit Nath's inner victory, and Abhinandan Nath's detachment, as we'll see later. Each shows the significance of cleaning the soul from its heaviness. Release the soul. These Tirthankars were masters of the inner science of purification. Their messages is timeless. The more we clean within, the more divinity and purity will shine through us. Through their own life experience, they established a process of dhyan and purification, and at Heartfulness, we subtly experience the same inner growth through the process of meditation, which we do on the presence of divine energy in our hearts and by cleaning, a practice that we are going to see later in today's session, where we try to release our subconscious mind of any emotional burdens and impressions that we have accumulated knowingly or unknowingly during our daily activities. With this daily act of meditation and inner cleaning, we are continuing the same sacred journey that these Tirthankars began. In slide 3, let's look at the meaning of the words purity and detachment in a little more details. And let's try to go beyond the dictionary meaning. Purity in Jain philosophy means clarity, clarity in thoughts, words, and actions. When the heart is clean, truth shines by itself. We don't have to struggle to be good. Detachment doesn't mean rejection or coldness. It means freedom from dependence, the inner ability to stay balanced, whether things go our way or not. The Tirthankars showed that when purity and detachment come together, the mind becomes still, and meditation at that point becomes effortless. Purity is like a clear mirror, free from dust, reflecting divinity naturally. That's what we are going to experience today through the stories of Abhinandan Nath and Padmaprabha Swami and the practice of heartfulness cleaning. In slide 4, we see a pictorial representation of Abhinandan Nath Ji. He was the fourth Tirthankar. He attained Kaivalya beneath the Chironji tree, and the symbol that we have for him is monkey. This leads us to the first story in this slide. He is the fourth Tirthankar. He was born in Ayodhya to King Sambara Raja and Queen Siddharthi. His name Abhinandan means one who brings happiness. Abhinandan Nath taught a simple but powerful idea. Live life like an orphan, meaning a life free from ownership and dependence. This attitude will lead to eternal freedom and joy. He said, when we expect nothing, we receive everything. He ruled wisely, then renounced with gratitude, not out of disgust for the world, but from inner completeness. His teachings remind us that simplicity and humility are the gateways to joy. Let's take a moment of pause to reflect on these questions that I'm going to ask based on what we have learned from the life of Abhinandan Nath. When I feel most content, when do I feel most content? When I own more or when my heart feels light and free? Let's think for a minute. You can note down your answers, or you can keep it to yourself, or you can write in the chat. What do you think is true content? Possession or feeling of lightness and joy? Moving on, let's go to next slide and look at the life of Padmaprabha Swami. He is the sixth Tirthankar. He attained Kaivalya beneath the banyan tree, and his symbol, as you can see on his stone underneath him, is of red lotus. In the next slide, we have his story. The story of Padmaprabha Swami, the sixth Tirthankar. He was born to King Sridhara and Queen Susima in Kaushambi. When the queen was pregnant, she dreamed of sleeping on a bed of lotus flowers, symbolizing beauty and purity without thorns, which comes with the rose. The child was born with radiance like a lotus, and so he was named Padmaprabha, the lotus light. He taught that human birth is the greatest gift because only as humans can we become aware of our inner dirt and clean it. The lotus lives in a mud yet remains unstained, a perfect metaphor for detachment in action. He encouraged everyone to live fully in the world, but to keep the heart pure like the lotus leaf and petals that water cannot wet. So, what is the key lesson we learn here? Stay pure in every situation. Let the world touch, but not taint you. So, in slide 8, the next slide, we see both Abhinandan Nath and Padmaprabhu Swami show us something very important, that real renunciation means rising above attachments. Abhinandan Nath adopted the path of renunciation when he realized that even good things can become burdens if we cling to them. He lived as a king, but let go without struggle. He practiced detachment with a feeling of joy. When there is no mind, there is no pain in letting go. Very simple. Padmaprabha Swami's story of the lotus tells us the same truth, but in another way. The lotus doesn't leave the mud. It grows right inside the mud, but remains untouched by it. That is true renunciation. To live in the world, but stay pure inside. The scriptures say, purity comes through detachment and service. When the heart is clean, it naturally wants to give, not grab. Detachment is love without ownership. It is doing our duty with complete involvement, yet free from the anxiety of results. True renunciation is inner freedom, the ability to be happy with or without, to love without control, to act without ego. A pure heart not only purifies us, it purifies others too. Have you ever noticed that when you sit near someone at peace, you start feeling peaceful yourself? That's the silent power of purity. It radiates, it reflects, it spreads. Basically, it's contagious. Both these Tirthankars remind us that the real strength lies in letting go. When we let go our sense of I and mine, the soul expands love becomes unconditional and service flows effortlessly. That is the secret of their joy and inner power. Moving on, let's try to think about how we can live these teachings today. First, we need to keep our intentions pure in work, speech, and relationships. Motive matters more than actions. Second, we let go of grudges, guilt, and clutter, both emotional as well as material. Holding on to old memories is like carrying a suitcase of dust. Third, we make time for inner cleaning. Just as we shower daily to clean our body, we must clean our hearts too. When the inner dust settles, the heart becomes a mirror of divinity, and a clean heart naturally radiates love and peace to its surroundings. In the next slide, we summarize the fact that the Tirthankars not just taught but lived a life of purity and detachment. They purified their consciousness through awareness and austerity. For us today, the same state can be experienced through a gentle daily practice called heartfulness cleaning. When we clean the heart, we remove subtle impressions of worry, anger, fear, and possessiveness, which are the modern forms of attachment. This is our way of living their teachings in today's world. As we clean each day, the same purity that embodied begins to shine within us, that the Tirthankars embodied. We'll start to feel the same. Cleaning is our bridge between their lives and our own, between ancient wisdom and modern practice. Moving on. Now, we will try to experience what is this heartfulness cleaning and how do we do it. So, I'll be guiding you through the process of cleaning. It is a closed eyes activity, but it is an active process where you will be listening to me and trying to do it. Just kind of follow my steps. And towards the end of the cleaning, we will go into a short meditation for 10 minutes until I say that's all. So, to start with, sit comfortably and relax. Close your eyes very gently and very softly. Make sure your back is well rested. Now, very gently bring your attention towards your back. Visualize your entire back from the top of your head all the way to the tip of your tailbone, from one shoulder to another. Just try to see your back in your mind. Now, give a suggestion that any emotional baggages, any thoughts, any worries, any impurities that you have been carrying with you during your day is getting released from your body, from your system, from your subconscious mind in the form of smoke, and it's leaving you through your back. And feel the smoke leaving you from the back of your head, your neck, from your upper back, your lower back, your shoulders, As you get comfortable with this idea of smoke or vapor getting released from your back, try to intensify the flow of the smoke. Let more and more smoke leave you. It's more important to focus on the smoke, release of the smoke and vapor, than to focus on any incident or any experiences of the day. Just suggest that whatever it was, it's getting released from your back in the form of smoke. As more and more smoke and vapor leave your body from your back, you should start to feel lighter and more lighter. You can gently lessen the intensity of the smoke and move your attention towards your front. Now imagine light originating from the source of all creation is entering your body from your front. This light is entering into your heart and it's filling up all the vacuum that has been created in your heart, all the lightness that has been created in your heart due to the release of this smoke. Let more and more light enter into your heart. And as it fills your heart, it moves through your body to the farthest corner of your body. The tips of your toes, your fingers, to the top of your head, releasing any stress, any tension, any remaining stress, any tension that you're still carrying. As this light covers you, you're starting to feel a state of purity, of balance within yourself. You can end the process of cleaning with a strong conviction that I have released whatever I was carrying, whatever impressions I was carrying from my daily experiences, and that I'm back to that state of purity and balance where I'm supposed to be. With this confidence, we'll continue to close our eyes and move into meditation, where we'll bring our attention back to our heart, to the divine energy that is already present inside my heart. And try to stay with the light which is present inside my heart. We'll go into a quiet period where we'll try to stay connected with our heart, connected with the light present inside our heart. At any point you feel you've got distracted due to any noise around you or any thoughts, just take a pause. Remind yourself of this light, your heart, and then move your attention back towards your heart. We will try to stay connected with our heart until you hear me say that's all. Please start meditation. That's all. When you feel ready, you can gently open your eyes. Thank you for participating. As we come out of this experience, let's spend a few minutes reflecting. What does purity mean to each one of us at a personal level? Can you recall moments when you felt lighter after letting go of something? How does detachment enhance love and service? When we act without being attached to a person or outcome, have you felt a difference in the result? It can be anything. You might notice that we can love more deeply and serve more selflessly when we act with detachment. That's why the pure heart is a strong heart, open, free, and full of compassion. Through this session, we have seen a link between purity, detachment, and heartfulness cleaning and meditation. Before we go into the recap and I discuss these points, if anybody has any questions, we can take that, or I can just recap the session. If you want to ask any questions, you can unmute and ask, or you can even write in the chat, whatever suits. Any questions about heartfulness cleaning practice that we did right now, or even meditation practice? Any clarifications? I'm happy to take. Maybe you're still trying to reflect on how it felt, what you just experienced. So then let's just summarize our journey today. Abhinandan Nath taught joy through detachment, freedom from ownership, and Padmaprabha Swami taught purity amid life's mud, like a lotus untouched by its water. Their message, purity and detachment, bring lightness and freedom. And the modern practice of heartfulness cleaning connects us to that same purity in today's life. Every evening when we clean, we are living their teachings in this era, in our life. Next week, we'll conclude with the message of Mahavir, Lord Mahavir, courage and liberation. And as you just saw, the last slide has a glimpse of this book, which is my reference point for today's talk. So you can scan that QR code and find your way through that book yourselves if you're interested in reading these stories of these Tirthankars in more details than just the simple um, overview that we do in the session. Thank you for joining. We still have a couple of minutes if anybody wants to discuss anything. Yeah. No questions. So anybody has their hand raised. Yes, please unmute and go ahead.
Um, when we focus on when we do meditation and we focus on the heart, like, is there any eh, apart from just focusing? Is there anything you think about, or is it what happens in that process? Is it just looking at the light in there, or um, how does that bring purity in? Um, just by looking at the light. I mean, uh, is there any function, like is there, do you think about anything, or you how does it lighten your uh, I'm not
Okay.
it's a bit
Yeah.
confusing.
Okay. So you're talking about the meditation practice that we did today. That was the second practice that we did. We started with heartfulness cleaning and then we went to meditation, where the instructions was to focus on the light inside the heart and to stay connected with that light.
Yes.
So, as I understand, your question is, are we doing anything else? So the thing here is when we try to focus, we are not trying to visualize any material light there, no candlelight, no diya light. Just imagine a brightness inside your heart, and that brightness is expanding. And there comes a stage when the expansion goes beyond your heart, covering your entire being and maybe even beyond. So that's the journey where meditation takes you, on which meditation takes you. Expand the inner light and reflect it to the outer world, basically. And when you say, how does purity come by just looking at the light in our heart? Purity comes more as a byproduct of this entire journey, of this entire meditation process. Of course, it will not, you won't start feeling it from day one, maybe, but it eventually, as the brightness inside your heart expands, you will start to feel that purity expanding your covering your entire being. And and as I said, it's more experiential. What is purity to you might be different, have a different definition for purity to somebody else. So it's about your own feeling of that light expanding within you.
Because
So tell me.
I mean, what I understood is and also detachment.
Yes.
What I understand is that, say for example, any actions you do, you act as an observer rather than uh,
Yes.
uh, being in that situation. You're just observing something around you and not acting on it. Um, no, don't have any judgments on it, and so on.
Yes.
So that way it brings detachment. Well, that is detachment. Basically, you're detaching yourself from that situation, having no um, thoughts about it, basically not.
From your own experiences. Basically, you're trying to detach yourself from your own experiences. As you said, your own experience during the meditation. You are more of an
Yes,
observer of your own self.
but that's what I'm saying is you are actually thinking about something rather than just looking at the light, or focusing on something. No.
So that's what we're trying, not to think about something and let that light guide you, basically. So you start with the light, but then you can allow the light to guide you towards wherever it can help you in solving a long standing problem as part of that activity. But you have to keep practicing every day to actually come to a point where you realize that this is the guidance coming from my heart rather than my mind taking over and again doing a logical reasoning of a problem. So thinking is what we are trying to moderate. So we can't stop it because our mind will think. That's the activity, basic activity of the mind. What we are trying to do here is moderate our thinking and become an observer to see if that thought is coming from the heart's guidance, or it's the mind taking over and trying to boss around like it does.
Right. So basically, you're focusing on a point or on the light to stop your mind wandering on other things. That's
Right.
the main practice.
That's right. And it comes with practice. Absolutely. That's why meditation, as well as heartfulness cleaning, is a daily activity.
Okay.
Dedicate whatever time you can to start with and try and expand on it, but start with it.
How long are these sessions? How long
So,
do you meditate?
so the cleaning, heartfulness cleaning, is an evening activity which you do from 15 to 20 minutes to max 30 minutes. And the major part of it is that the release of the smoke, letting go of impressions from your system. That's the major part. So if you say you're doing 15 minutes, you're starting with 15 minutes to 10 minutes of release of smoke, and then last 5 minutes of letting the light inside your heart and filling up and then flowing through the rest of your body. So that's the cleaning from 15 minutes to 30 minutes. Say one third, 2/3 of the time is for letting the impressions go, and 1/3 is for letting divine light enter you. And meditation again is it's a morning activity, similar time, like 15 minutes to 30 minutes of trying to stay connected with your heart, and because it's hard to just stay connecting with nothingness, we give this concept of a brightness inside your heart, a light inside your heart, but we should try not to attach ourselves with any objectified light, a material light like a candle or a diya, just a glow inside the heart, trying to connect with that.
Okay, it's like imaginary divine light or something.
Yes, but inside your heart, and try to make it real. Start with an imagination and then feel its reality.
Okay, thank you.
Most welcome. Thank you for the question. Is there anything in the chat, or we should call it a day? I think it's done then. Thank you so much. Thank you everyone for joining. We'll see you next week. Until then, happy Diwali all.
Thank you.
For today's session.
Thank you.
Bye.
हरिहंत प्रभु ना दर्शन करता, ओम नमो हरिहंताणम। सिद्ध प्रभु ना दर्शन करता, ओम नमो सिद्धाणम। आचार्यों ने वंदन करता, ओम नमो आयर्याणम। उपाध्याय ने वंदन करता, ओम नमो उपाध्यायाणम। सर्व साधु ने वंदन करता, नमो लोए सब साहूणम। सम्यक दर्शन मुझने मर्जो, देसो पंचन मुक्तारो। सम्यक ज्ञान मुझने मर्जो, सव्वा पाव परासनो। सम्यक चारित्र मुझने मर्जो, मंगलानं च सर्वेषु। नवपदनी